Skyward Sword HD has been out for a couple of weeks now, and I have played it cover to cover. I don't even know if you can do that with a game, but somehow I did. Anyways, I spent a huge chunk of time playing since release and wanted to share my thoughts on it with all you lovely people. Before we begin, I wanted to take a minute and thank everyone who has supported the channel so far by watching, liking, and subscribing. A huge thanks goes out to all of you. It's appreciated more than you'll ever know. Skyward Sword was, and still is, divisive among Zelda fans. Praised for its wonderful dungeons, story, and boss battles, but heavily criticized for its glaring linearity and use of motion controls. The HD re-release has tried to alleviate some of these complaints and has done a fairly decent job on some. If you're looking for a list of changes between this game and the original, I have a more in-depth look at those linked above. The Zelda franchise is no stranger to great character and world design, and Skyward Sword is no exception. The art style was inspired by Impressionist paintings, and they have aged pretty well. The softness used fits the bright, fantastical environments and races flawlessly. Fun fact about the Skyloftians: most names and a few character models have birds incorporated into their designs. Each character has their own personality bursting through, from the friendly, responsible senior student Pippet, the shy, weak Fledge, who is secretly working to become stronger for everyone, to the demon hiding out under the graveyard just wishing he was a human. An array of side quests helps further explore the daily lives of the denizens of the Sky Islands and really helps flesh out the world. And adds a little extra to pad out the game's already meaty 40-hour storyline. Dungeons, we all scream for dungeons. After the shorter, more physics-based Divine Beasts and Shrines of Breath of the Wild, proper dungeons finally make their return. The items are back. I mean, who doesn't love messing around with these? The beetle, one of my personal favorites, is one of the most useful and multi-purpose. Use it to scout ahead, chop down a few Dooku Baba, hit some switches, and, after upgrading, it doubles as your own personal flying bombing unit. While the dungeons themselves aren't terribly difficult, the simpler, item-based puzzle solving opens the door for more casual and younger players. And can we talk about these boss fights for just a minute? These are easily some of the best the series has to offer. From flat-out sword fights with evil spirits, the ginormous Coloctos, where you literally use its own limbs against it, to giant lava balls who call back to King Dodongo in more ways than one. And somebody went and released Hyrule's very own version of the Kraken. It all accumulates in one massive struggle against the ultimate evil, Demise, and the start of it all. There has been a huge graphical upgrade, and much like the 3DS remake of Ocarina, it now looks like what you thought it looked like when you played it through the first time. There is an overall cleaner, crispier look to the game, and smaller details are far more noticeable. At its core, Skyward Sword is still the most linear in the franchise to date. The traditional Zelda template is very much in your face, leaving me wish Skyloft, where the surrounding chunks of islands were just a little bigger, and for the maps of the surface to be connected. On the flip side, it is one of the more story-driven installments, treating you to the tale of the first the very first game of the timeline. Join Zelda and Link in their plight to reunite the citizens of the floaty little Sky Islands with the land of the surface. The curse of the reincarnation cycle starts with Skyward Sword. Love 'em or hate 'em, Nintendo has left the motion controls fully intact. I was curious how the Switch fared on this front, and somehow, for me at least, it's even worse. Gone are the days of fixing the calibration every 10 minutes or so. Every swing of your sword, every bird ride, every blink of your eye needs recalibration. Sometimes multiple times before even firing the slingshot. The traditional layout, however, is leagues better, and once you get used to the camera and the shield controls, the buttons are the definitive way to go. The Legend of Zelda is known for having great soundtracks, and while not everyone is gonna like every track, Skyward Sword delivers a solid musical experience. Whether you're swimming in the vast Lake Floria, handing Girahim his behind on a platter, or soaring the open skies on your Loftwing. A bonus bit of trivia for you. The Loftwings are based on the very real and very terrifying Shubo Stork. The original on Wii was a bit rough in some areas, but the team for the HD release have picked this up and polished the heck out of it. The results are a game that, unlike the first, didn't feel like a chore to get through. Even my most dreaded Lanayru desert and mining facility were a breeze, and completed in one go instead of coming back to it 5 separate times. If you enjoyed the original on Wii, you will like the re-release just as much or more. Consider picking it up for the new motionless controls and the quality upgrades, if those kept you from enjoying, or if you've never played the original. Until next time, stay safe and game on!